EcoFlow has been an industry leader in the power station game for some years now, and with the release of the Delta Pro 3, deciding which power station is for you just got that much harder. The original Delta Pro was the most crowd-funded tech project in history or something like that at the time of its release, and it's still a competitive unit almost 4 years later. The Delta Pro Ultra was an actual game changer. It offered way more versatility, way more power, and honestly just like a new elegance to the design and versatility of what a portable power station can be. And the Delta Pro 3, which is the third Delta Pro unit, hence the name DP3, is a logical evolution of the original Delta Pro. It's also kind of similar to an iPhone. Every year they release a brand new one. They're all kind of the same thing. If you upgrade every year, you're not really gonna notice a difference, but if you need to go buy a brand new phone, you may as well just get the newest one. It has all the latest technology and it's honestly just gonna be the better purchase. And so right now, with the price of the original Delta Pro at an all-time low and the capabilities of these new Delta Pro units at an all-time high, which one do you get? Which one suits your needs best, and which is a better deal? Today, we're gonna share our honest experience with all three of these units and hopefully help you guys make that decision. So welcome back to the lab, guys. You know here our opinions cannot be bought. We do have individual videos on all three of these units if you want to dive a little bit deeper into any one of them. We also have links and coupon codes to whatever we can get you guys in the description down below. So if at any point you guys want to check any of these units out, make sure you go down there and do so. And honestly, before we get any further in this video, the most important thing that you can do before we jump into comparing the three of these, understand the basics of watts and watt hours. So if you're trying to figure out, hey, will this thing power my oven? All your devices, whether it's a vacuum or an oven or a microwave, will have a sticker on it that says the volts and the amps. All you have to do is volts times amps equals watts. So just get that figured out and then just figure out how long you want that to last, and you should be able to understand everything else that we talk about from here on out in this video. Now, before we jump into which of these units is best for you, we're gonna jump into the main differences between all three of these Delta Pro units. Starting with battery bank, the original Delta Pro has a 3600 watt hour battery, which means if you had a 1000 watt air conditioner, you could run it for 3.6 hours off of this guy. The Delta Pro 3 has a 4000 watt battery, so it's not much bigger. You could run that air conditioner for 4 hours. And the Delta Pro Ultra has a 6000 watt hour battery, so you could run that air conditioner for 6 hours off of this guy. Of course, all of these are expandable. A single original Delta Pro unit can expand up to 10.8 kilowatt hours. A single Delta Pro 3 can expand up to 12 kilowatt hours, so not much difference in between these guys. And a single Delta Pro Ultra unit can expand up to 30 kilowatt hours, which is massive. And when it comes to the inverter, we got a 3600 watt inverter. This is a 4000 watt inverter. So again, these guys are very close. And over here, we have a 7200 watt inverter on the Delta Pro Ultra. So this absolutely just smashes both of these in terms of what it can power all at one time. Both the Delta Pro 3 and the Delta Pro Ultra can do 240. This original Delta Pro does 120. You can do 240 volts if you pair two of them together, but that's starting to get a little bit more extreme. So 120 from this guy and 240 on both of these guys. And you can also charge both of these guys with 240, which is like you could put 4000 watts directly into this unit with 240. So you could charge it super fast. In terms of solar input, you're looking at a 1600 watt input on the original Delta Pro, a 2600 watt input on the Delta Pro 3, and a 5600 watt input on the Delta Pro Ultra. So if you're looking for a setup that relies a little bit more heavily on solar, this is gonna be the unit that accepts the absolute most. The solar input is almost the same as the battery size. It's gonna charge very quickly. These are a lot smaller than the battery size, so it's gonna take a bit longer to charge these with solar. And when it comes to portability, there is a pretty big difference again between these two and this one. This one comes with like the little wheelie cart that you can put it on to move it around your garage floor. It also comes with one with a handle and wheels, kind of like the design of these guys. But I still think that's a pretty stupid thing to purchase because this weighs like almost 200 pounds with one battery and one inverter. So it's not like you're gonna wheel it out to your truck and then lift it in nicely anyways. Like it's ridiculously heavy. This thing is meant to be put stationary in the corner of your garage or wherever you have it and just kind of left there. These have the expandable suitcase handles out the front. They each have wheels on the back. They're super easy to pick up. They're a lot more geared towards life on the go. And that's basically it for major differences. This shines if you need home backup for your home, like your whole entire house. It's a super powerful and expandable unit that can power your home in case of an emergency. It can be built up to power like your entire home if you buy 3 inverters and a ton of batteries, but this is gonna be completely fine for powering all of your essentials. You could have your oven, your stove, a well pump, and your microwave, a coffee maker going all at once. It's a powerful unit, and in case of an emergency, this could power the essentials inside of your home. If you're looking to power like a tiny home or a small outbuilding of sorts, this will do it. Super easy. It's also a really good fit for like a power hungry RV or a camper, seeing that it actually has the 30 amp plug right here on the front. It's gonna need to be fixed, which is a little bit more of a pain. You're gonna wanna put this like in a slide or in a storage compartment or something in your RV. But you could fix this inside of the RV and it has plenty of power for a big, hungry, like 5th wheel RV. It's also the most solar ready unit. So if you're looking for a power station that you could basically only run like off grid with solar power, this has the biggest input and it has the best ratio compared to the battery. So a 5.6 kilowatt input with a 6,000 watt hour battery, you're gonna be able to charge that in just over an hour. So if you stacked up 3 or 4 of these, you could charge the whole system in a day of sun, which is pretty good. If you have a lot of power hungry loads and you're okay with putting this in a fixed location, this unit might be for you. The Delta Pro 3 shines as being a good unit for emergency backup. This thing's good for like light home backup if you need to power smaller loads. You can run a stove and an oven, not at the same time. You can run your well pump, you could do like microwaves, coffee makers, that kind of stuff. If you don't have power, this will provide you power, but you're not gonna be able to run everything at once like you would with the Delta Pro Ultra. Of course, it can be scaled with multiple units and batteries into a system that can kind of compete, but it's gonna be a lot more work and it's still a little bit more restricting. So we would kind of recommend this for an emergency backup situation. You wheel it out of the garage into the house. It powers your needs for the time being. And when you're done, you just wheel it away and you're done with it. This thing feels more at home inside of like a tiny home or a cabin, an RV. Seeing that it has a 30 amp plug and it's got the wheels and the handle, again, it's just like a really nice, you wheel it into your RV for the weekend, wheel it back out. It's super portable and easy to use. And you can put your expansion batteries on top and power a small cabin or a tiny home or something with lighter loads with a unit like this. And it would even be good for a boat. A lot of people always ask us like what kind of power station would be good for a boat. This thing would do plenty inside of a boat. And honestly, I've even taken a big unit like this overlanding in my Jeep. It's way too much power, like it's way too big to take realistically, but on a weekend where there's no sun in the forecast, I know that when I bring this, I have way more power than I'm gonna need, and I have a nice, reliable, portable power station in my Jeep at all times. This unit's also more compact than the Delta Pro used to be. So the expansion batteries are slim and they sit on top. If you're trying to put this inside of a smaller, tighter space, you're gonna get more battery in a smaller footprint, which is nice. And it does run 240, so you can plug it directly into a transfer switch or whatever you want. It's got the 30 amp plug for your RV, but it doesn't do 120 and 240 power at the same time directly out of the unit. Of course, if you have this 240 turned on and you have this running to a transfer switch, it'll run 120 and 240, whatever. But if this is plugged into a transfer switch, you can't walk up and plug something into a 120 plug and turn this on. It turns off the transfer switch plug. So it only does one of these physical inverters on the unit at a time, which is a little bit annoying. The Delta Pro Ultra, you can run both the 120 and 240 sides of the inverter at the same time, which is just a little bit of a pro. This one also shines when you're on the road because it has the AC in/out plug on the back, which you can use the Delta Pro Ultra accessories for. So you can charge this with an EV charger. You can charge this directly from a generator with 240 volts, charge it in like an hour. It has a higher solar input, so you can charge it up faster that way. So on top of the Delta Pro, it does have some extra bonuses, I guess. The original Delta Pro shines for all of the same applications that the Delta Pro 3 does. It has the 30 amp plug, it's great for RVs, it's great for taking camping, doing all that kind of stuff. It's a good light home backup unit. It'll power your 120 volt needs in case of an emergency. The big difference between this and the Delta Pro 3 is obviously the split phase. This unit only does 120. If you need to run 240 loads, just go get a Delta Pro 3. Don't even bother buying 2 of these with the connectors. It's too much around. Otherwise, it's basically the exact same thing. It has a little bit of a smaller battery and inverter at 3,600 watts and 3,600 watt hours. This one is just way better if you're on a budget. Honestly, at the end of the day, if you asked me which unit you should buy, I would just start by recommending the Delta Pro. It's the cheapest it's ever been, it's still extremely capable, and it's a pretty good unit. If you need to run 240 volt loads and you want something a little bit newer, go ahead and get the Delta Pro 3. If you have a really high demand house or tiny home or whatever, you just have a lot of loads that you need to run all at once, then go ahead and scoop the Delta Pro Ultra. But I think you know who you are if you need this. And if you don't need this, I would just stick with something like this. You're gonna be much happier with the size and portability and functionality of a smaller unit like this. This becomes a big pig and it's really hard to move. But either way, I don't think you can go wrong with any of these. And like I said at the beginning of the video, we'll leave some coupon codes and links down below if you guys want to check it out. Otherwise, that is all I got for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out and stay charged.